This is the men's room.
Get it, man, and get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
You're listening to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
Why was the adrenaline pumping through your body? 844-999. Ola, back to the calls.
Yes, Grayson, please continue. This is the story that turned you into an adrenaline junkie.
Yeah, because of this, I rappelled down a castle wall and took a snowmobile to 120 miles an hour.
Jesus.
Yeah, so I was in Boy Scouts. I was about 12, 13 at the time. We were doing some community service at Fort Worden. We were cleaning up some weeds on the top of a bunker. Well, this bunker was about 20 feet off the ground, and it had this pitch on the side that was about 45 degrees. I was cleaning weeds a little too close to the edge, and I slipped, fell 20 feet, kind of did a half backflip to land head first directly into a trailer hitch. And that 20-foot fall, I swore it took a year because everything just slowed down to nanoseconds. And it just, I didn't KO, but it was like, wow, that took forever.
Typically, time slows down in those moments. I mean, like,
yeah, 100%. Absolutely.
There was a guy pulled out in front of me. I was driving into Baltimore, and I was on an old highway, one of the older highways, the original highways that go up and down the East Coast. And so instead of having a median, you can actually turn. You know what I mean? You can go in between, whatever. So I see this car in front of me. I'm going 55 miles an hour. I see a truck, and a truck just pulls right out in front of me. I'm like, I'm gonna hit this guy right now, in a second, I mean, and I'm swerving.
It takes forever.
I mean, and finally, boom, I hit, man. And I mean, like, as soon as I sat up from the impact, there's an ambulance and a guy at my door. That's kind of how it went. You know what I mean? Like, that's obviously. There's a lot of time missing there.
Right.
I'm not exactly sure when that was and how that happened, but I just remember, I'm like, you got here fast. I'm like, how am I doing? And I realized that despite the fact that I had my seatbelt on, my head went into the windshield anyway because it didn't lock upon impact. So my glasses cut my face. It wasn't the fact that my face was too messed up. My glasses did cut my face all up. So I'm bleeding, and I'm wondering, what is the extent of this damage? Because I know I T-boned a guy going 55 miles an hour, and he's out throwing up. And I look up, and he's still throwing up his hands in the air, talking to me "What's my fault?"
Of course.
And I'm like, oh my God, you got.
Oh, he's pissed.
Oh, he's mad because this is a brand new Ford 250. He had a 250 Ford, all right, to give you an idea of the impact, which is a big-ass Ford. It was a big Ford truck. I hit him with a Nissan Sentra. I totaled his truck. I totaled his truck.
I got 55, sure, man.
I completely totaled his truck. And if I didn't hit his wheel well, he had that freaking thing jacked up. I would have gone underneath that truck and
taken your head off?
Yeah, completely.
Hey, let me ask you this, caller. You said that you falling 20 feet onto a trailer hitch is what made you an adrenaline junkie. Is it because you like the fact that time slows down so much in those moments?
Oh, I love that feeling. I mean, I've taken a snowmobile off of a jump at 15 miles an hour. That jump alone, which probably took only about 5 seconds, it felt like it took a year. The time just slows down, and it feels so good.
What about what about an avalanche? You ever started one, triggered one, rode one out?
No, I have not.
Don't do that.
I don't want to. That's not one of the things I want to do. I want to jump out of a plane. I fly planes, but I want to just jump out of a perfectly good one and feel free fall. I think that's going to take 10 years for however long that is.
You know what, man? It really doesn't. It doesn't. Mm-hmm. I will tell you this, as I am not particularly a daredevil, but did jump out of a plane, and I did not like the moment we first left the plane. I don't know how to explain. It's just different, man. It's like I said, you're sitting there with your legs hanging out of a plane, and I'm harnessed in with this dude who's like, hey, man, on the count of 3, we're going to jump. And he just starts counting. And as I'm about to turn my head to say, I don't think this is a good idea. The moment you leave the plane, you get an adrenaline rush, but it's different. For whatever reason, nothing about it feels scary. You understand what's happening.
Yeah.
You're falling toward a planet, but you feel okay. it's fine. I feel like it would be scarier to do, like you said, either rappelling or taking a snowmobile or whatever it is.
You know the guys that like to go up. Now, when I say not to go up, but just adrenaline junkies in general.
Sure.
Like anybody who's ever been on a crab boat that I've met seem to be an adrenaline junkie. Even though not that they can't come down, but I mean, they're fired up and ready to go. Strangely enough, in a more conservative, fired up kind of way, and he said he was a pilot.
Yeah.
When I attempted Rainier, 3 of the guys were pilots. And it makes perfectly good sense.
Sure.
Because you're up there, you're flying, you see this stuff, you know what I mean? That's your world. Above the clouds and in the clouds is your world. And you look down and you go, I want to go there. And those, I mean, they're adrenaline junkies. Well, I mean, a lot of them were.
But you're trying to climb Rainier. So in my mind, to a degree, like, it's not exciting because in the sense that it's fast paced, but I have to think the whole thing's adrenaline. You say you're crossing crevasses, like, hey man, it drops into an abyss, so try not
to. A blue, friendly death.
Right.
That looks like, you know what I mean? Like
a beautiful way to die.
Like in an ice palace. You know what I mean?
So
like Superman or something.
But
like
see, to me, at some point, that adrenaline gets old. Like, all right, so if you're jumping out of a plane, or if you get into a car wreck, like we're saying, it feels like forever. The truth is, it's 5, 10, 15 seconds, whatever it is. And you get this adrenaline boost, and adrenaline does kind of make you feel good, however you describe it. But, like, at some point, if you're trying to summon a mountain and the possibility of falling into a crevasse, which might be directly under your feet at any given moment, like, that adrenaline to me gets old. It's because you go like, hey, man, I've been here for 2 days, right? And it's just adrenaline because I'm constantly worried I'm going to die.
Not only that, there's a couple places where, depending on the time of the year and how things are melting and everything else, this is later in the year, things are melting and rocks are just falling.
See, it's adrenaline.
A lot of people,
but it's too much.
A lot of people don't make it because they get hit in the head with a 50-pound rock that's just bouncing, bouncing down the mountain. Like, dead.
But that's different adrenaline to me.
That's you gotta be on the lookout for that.
That's what I mean. It's too long.
But that's not an adrenaline dump.
No.
Right, because you're doing
scared. You're just
But I would think as the boulder like flashes by your body, that's when you would probably get a little shot of adrenaline.
Sure. I have felt that, and it's stupid if you say a boulder just coming down a mountain once with our boss and Miles, and you could feel this thing. You could feel the vibrations of it bouncing down the mountain before you even heard it.
If you slipped, you basically sent down a whole half of a mountain with you.
And you just hear these people behind you.
Stuff like, look out!
Everyone just screams up, right? And you don't look for anything. You know what I mean? People, if they say look out, your first instinct is to look around to see what you're trying to avoid. When you hear people scream up at that point, you just get up. And it's amazing. You realize that you've elevated 6 feet and you can't explain how you've done it. And this thing, I don't know, it's only like the size of a basketball. It's just that it's solid rock. But I remember watching it bounce by, and I'm like, why the F are we up here?
Should have wore a helmet.
Whose goddamn idea was this?
Not only that, but it was grizzly bear territory.
Right! That's the other thing, man. So even when you got, like, this was the dangerous part, because there were falling rocks.
We got at the bottom, and I was like, thank God we're off that frickin' mountain.
And then it's like, yeah, but now we're in the grizzly bear. All of the area was grizzly bear park. All of it. And the whole time, I'm kind of mad at you guys, like, who thought this was a great idea? Hey, look, when we get out of the grizzly, and keep in mind, there's been some maulings recently, but
just a couple.
Just a few in the last couple of weeks. But when we get through that, it's just the scramble. And then when we get to the scramble, that's when we're like, oh, okay, well, the grizzly bears don't really come up here, but there's big falling rocks.
That does make your blood pump a little bit faster. When you know you're in an area that bears are all the time, it's like the hikes are
all
different.
The time.
The hikes are different.
It's a lot different.
The way you eat is different.
It's not a hike. You're like walking for when you hike, you're talking to your buddies, you're having a good time. Like, when they keep saying, dude, like, honest to God, there's grizzly bears all around you. I'm just walking, hoping not to die. I'm like, this is not a hike.
Are you the type of person that says something in situations or doesn't? So, for an example, I was hiking in Banff, up in Alberta, in Canada. There's a ton of bears there to the point where they put a bear sheet out every day to let you know the updates on what bears. Here's a grizzly bear over here. Here's a black bear over here. Just know these parks, these campsites, these trails. They've all been spotted and all this stuff. In about 3 or 4 miles, at least, and look at this tree, man, it has just been shredded. I mean, shredded. It looks like, man, somebody took it and just shredded it from 8 feet, all the way down.
Is that the bear's way of saying, don't cross here?
He's just, sharpening his claws.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Are you sure that's all he's doing?
But when you're with maybe like your significant other, you don't go like, oh, look what the big bear did to the tree.
No.
You go like...
I think
you start looking around like, maybe we should turn around.
It depends on the person you're with.
Because you can smell how fresh it is.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I would just say, look, I'm not walking any farther. This seems like a bad idea, but don't ask me why unless you want to be freaked out.
I'm just saying, like, I feel like I have friends that I could be walking with where I'd be like, oh, man, look how close that bear was. Right. And I've done it. Like, that's fresh. Bear scat. There's probably a bear scat. But I also know, there's certain other people where I definitely would not be like, oh, look at the bear scat.
You know, I will say this, Miles, and, you know, full disclosure, as we were doing that hike and we get back into the bear part of it, I did think to myself, I can outrun either one of these two guys, right? So in the end, no, honestly, if I'm out there by myself, this is truly problematic, but I really sized up who I'm with, and I'm like, I think if it's just not distance, right? Not distance. They will crush me, both of them in distance. It has to be a cold, hard sprint, man, and you just have to get better. But you have to, like I said, they'll beat me in distance. You get about 150 yards for one of them to be taken down by the bear. Then you can slow up your pace. This was my strategy to get out of there.
I feel like I'm so slow, like whoever I'm with, if the bear shows up, I'm just going to be like, all right, I'm going to go face him. We both know he's going to catch me. He's going to catch me. Must well take it like a man.
Yeah, I've thought of all kinds of things.
I've seen a lot of things possible. See hell, bear.
Like he comes.
It would be great if the bear just ran by you and chased
He's just like, oh, screw this guy. He swim moves me.
He comes running at me. I got the boulder in my, I'm just jamming it in his mouth.
Yeah, see, because you have ideas like that. I'm like, I'm going to run.
It's like I just start breaking teeth and poking out eyeballs.
Miles going to try his rock theory.
I know. What else am I going to do?
I'm going to keep running.
I'm slow.
I'll wait, 5 minutes in the car, maybe?
Well, it's like people always talk about, fight or flight. It's like they forget about freeze.
I know, right.
Like sometimes like
no, that's what I do.
That's what I did the first time I saw a bear. I just kind of crouched down and froze. And
then you peed around your tent.
Yeah.
Did someone tell you
like
that
I
would work?
Froze. No.
You just
I just knew the bear was out there, so I figured pee around the tent, let him know I'm here.
Right. And he never came back.
Not that I saw.
Okay, good.
It worked then.
Yeah. Still to come, bad jokes on the way. Ted versus the FCC and emails on our question, why was the adrenaline pumping through your body? Those emails coming up next from the Men's Room at mensroomlive.com. You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
Our question, why was the adrenaline pumping through your body? And here come those emails from the Men's Room at mensroomlive.com.
You've got mail. You've got mail.
A few from today. Hola, naked ladies. A couple years ago, I was on my way to the store when I spotted a lost dog. I've taken classes on how to track and catch wandering dogs. Unfortunately, didn't have any of my equipment. I didn't stop me from trying, though, as I grabbed a little food from the car, tried to coax him closer, followed him around the neighborhood, trying to befriend him until he eventually laid down. And that's when I approached him and tried to grab his collar. And that's when he went ballistic on me. He didn't do much damage, as I was able to keep him at arm's length, but he managed to take a solid bite on my other hand, puncture it in two places. I let go of his collar, and he ran off, leaving me bleeding. But my adrenaline was pumping so hard that I don't think it quite registered what had just happened. Walked back to my car, drove to the store, washed the blood off in the bathroom, finished my errands. It wasn't until I got home and started telling the story to my family that I collapsed and started shaking. Never again.
Jeez.
I never saw the dog again. Hope he's all right. From Melinda in Spanaway.
Good times.
Yeah.
Good times.
It made a sound when he bit into my hand that sounded like he was biting into an apple. That's when I was like, God. Let's see here, guys. I wish I could call in on this one. The adrenaline was flowing because I was airborne in a Dodge Magnum, flying Dukes of Hazzard style,
screaming yeehaw
over a police cruiser.
Damn.
Kind of a long story, and the statute of limitations has passed, so I will tell it. Basically, there was a road by my house that if you exceeded 35 miles an hour, you would catch air. So, of course, every time we had a different car, testing was required. One day, my buddy from San Diego rented a Dodge Magnum, which had just come out, and, of course, the first thing that needed to be done was the jump. Seeing that there's a local school about a mile from the jump, there was a police cruiser coming the opposite direction. I don't remember the exact speed we were going, but it would have been felony reckless driving at minimum. Just as we launched, the cop comes around the corner. Now we are about 5 feet, 6 feet in the air, Dukes of Hazzard style, and we freeze. We surmised the cop couldn't have figured out what the car was due to the fact all he saw was the undercarriage as we flew over the light bar. We hauled ass back to my house, parked the car on the street down the road just in case. The next day, we returned the car to the rental agency for a convertible. I only wish I would have known what the cop thought of the situation, because that can't happen to him very often.
On some level, he was impressed.
Guys, one day, when my daughter was about 3, our landlord had to bring a backhoe into our yard to fix a broken water line. Workers had taken off for lunch. I'm home watching the kids. I got engrossed in a book for a few minutes, but saw my toddler go down the hall. Assumed she wasn't going downstairs to screw up my computer again. I went to look for her, and she wasn't there. I went out to the backyard, and I heard her crying. When I saw her, she was standing near the backhoe and had blood on her face. When I got to her, her right cheek was open, and she was cupping something under her chin. I asked what happened, and she said the neighbor's dog had bitten her. I don't remember much in the way of details from then until we got to the emergency room. Somehow I gathered up all 3 kids, grabbed the insurance card, loaded up, and drove to the hospital. As soon as she was in the doctor's hands and there was nothing for me to do, the adrenaline stopped, and I turned into a puddle of jelly. Well, she got 47 stitches. I was pretty well useless for explaining anything. Some of what I told the dog catcher may have been coherent, but I couldn't swear by it. That from Dave. Here's one that we'll finish with today, as far as our question, adrenaline-wise. Guys, it's my 6th anniversary today. And my wife not only has forgotten, she's also going out with a male coworker from the military this evening. Ooh. Some men's room red would have helped right about now. Wish me luck, Picholas. That from Ryan.
Wow, man. That's,
I'm worried.
So is Ryan.
I'm worried.
Yeah, man. I mean, I can't even think of some positive spin lie I could tell you on this.
I feel like maybe she could cancel that friend date.
Mm-hmm. I don't think she realizes maybe that it's the anniversary. Who knows? Any comments today?
There were quite a few. Hang on there. Let me, let's see.
Be careful out there tonight.
A lot of people were telling me that if I did, in fact, run from a bear and you guys were slower than me, it would make more sense for you guys to then drop and play dead. There's a good chance the bear would be distracted by me and chase me down anyway.
Okay.
Someone else said, Thurl, you realize you're the only black guy out there. Do you think they had ulterior motives? To which I responded, absolutely. I 100% agree with that. Let's see. We had a guy who jumped into the sinkhole earlier, and there's a guy that says, look, the Yucatan Peninsula, it's basically a giant chunk of flat limestone. A river system underneath it creates all of these things.
Those big blue holes.
Big blue holes.
What are those called?
Hold on.
Blue hole.
No.
They have a word like
cenote.
Cenotes,
right?
Cenote?
But then he adds pronounced S-A-Y, say-N-O, no, T-A-Y.
He's like all the way
cenotes.
from Holbach all the way to Belize. There's all those
cenotes.
Pockets and
don't jump in them.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I think the the Aztecs, right? They're down in that area.
Yeah.
So that's why they believe there was so much stuff going on in the underworld.
I think it's the Mayans.
Oh. Either or, but yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's the same difference.
Oh, that would do it.
Habicholas, here, let's get to birthdays. Allison is having a birthday. How may we wish her a happy birthday, you ask? Well, Allie would start her 12th year off in the best way, hearing from her favorite boys. You see, she is part Taiwanese and part German. So she would love for you to say happy birthday to you in Chinese. Let me try this one. Juni Shang Ra Kwa La. And a little German happy birthday, please, from Robin as well. Thanks, guys. That from your dad. Thanks for being the best show on earth. That from Steven.
Ja, vrolijke Geburtstag.
Very nice.
Even hers is 12. Come on, man.
Long-time listener, first-time emailer. Today is my birthday. Could I get a little turtle wax with Ted saying sausage is awesome in the pause? Thanks, guys. That from Evan the Meat Man.
Sausage is awesome. Sausage is awesome.
Pacholas, Gail is a year older. Give her a Joey Chestnut and a little random Ray Lewis. Thanks, guys. That from Walleye.
Joey Chestnut! It's time to take off the leash.
Pacholas is my friend Chetty. Pronounced Brandon's birthday. Could I get a Leroy Jenkins and an owl hitting the window? Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. That from Leighton.
Let's do this. Leroy Jenkins!
Guys, it's my son Andy's 21st birthday. Please give him a shout out. We are headed to the Brooklyn Tavern and give him an andro penis, maybe, and the birthday song. Let's see here. And the Dirty German's talking about what you should do on your 21st birthday from his dad and Cheryl. Thanks, guys. Been listening since the Buzz Days. Appreciated.
Andro penis.
Yeah, for your birthday, I think you should go back and listen to some old gangster rap, specifically Notorious V.A.G.
Yeah, it's funny you bring up rap. On anybody's 21 run, I recommend one thing. Hennessy.
Guy's name is Spencer. Today I'm 26. I'm driving to Leavenworth right after work to float the Wenatchee River. Would love to get a birthday shout out. And the Dirty Germans talking about how much bratwurst and German beer I will be consuming. Thanks, guys. The show's awesome. That from Spencer.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much beer you will be consuming, but count on getting 10 inches more bratwurst than you think.
Yeah, man, it sounds sexy already. You're going to be eating sausages and drinking beers at the Munchin house while playing around in Wenatchee.
Yeah, Munchin in Wenatchee.
Pleasure.
Guys, give Mike from Whidbey Island a bong hit for his birthday. Thanks from Paul, Mindy, and the Pugs.
Oh, and the Pugs.
And the Pugs.
Nice. They like Paul.
They're pugly.
Hello, guys. It's our coworker Jordan, pronounced FNG's birthday. He is 28. Could you give him an OG fish sandwich because he hates fish and your penis is too small? Because it is. Thanks, guys. That from the install crew from North Seattle Car Toys.
Fish sandwich.
I want to wish your boyfriend Tim a happy 29th. He has been begging me for years to send in a request, and I finally remembered to do one. Better late than never. Thanks, guys. Have a great weekend. That from Shiloh. Give him the Dirty Germans.
Yeah, I know you are celebrating your B-Day, but you will also be having a D-Day.
Yeah, I'm going to come across your shores and storm your beach.
Bitches, I'd like to send a birthday shout out to my Eskimo coworker Mike Birdstrike Birdsall. Could you give him your penis is too small, along with y'all talking all over each other about how bad airline etiquette is now. Cheers, guys. That from the original Captain Homebrew. Let's see.
I would like to.
Just get
horrible airline etiquette, man. Like we're going to get there. Put your goddamn seat up.
I mean, people are mean.
Hello, I'd like to wish my buddy Jordan, pronounced Jordan the Jerk, a very happy 31st birthday. Love it, man. If you guys could give me your penis is too small and maybe a big old woo, that would be great. Thanks, guys. That from Jesse. All the guys, woo. Can you give my best friend and sister from another Mr. Cat a very happy 31st? She's been my best friend for 18 years. Wonderful mom, soon to be son of two.
Son of Thor.
Yeah, an amazingly strong woman. I love her dearly. So can she get some turtle wax with Thrill Sing? Oh, God. Bung in the middle. Thanks, guys. We love the show. That from Ashley.
Bung. Bung.
Oh, I just wish my husband Patrick a happy 31st. Huge fan of the show. Also, new dad to celebrate. How about giving him a little Alan Thicke and wedding puke? Thanks, guys. That from Brittany and Cole.
Uh-oh, look up.
Guys, I want to give a birthday shout out to my husband Aaron, a.k.a. Pip. He is 33. Just want to say we love you. And hurry, Holmes, you can get your birthday surprise.
Oh.
Love your wife, Christina. Can I get a fish sandwich and a little dirty German talk? Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Fish sandwich.
Yeah, I do not know if you've ever had a placed a black pickle in your cornhole, but it's a new kind of game.
Yeah, sounds like your surprise will be like a Kinder surprise, except yours will involve a mouse.
Oh, boy. Yeah, very subtle.
Mm-hmm. Right. It's his birthday, and Mr. Pip, don't miss a game.
Yeah.
Well, gentlemen, today marks my 37th day on Earth. Can Mickey Mouse do me dirty by wishing me a happy birthday? Much appreciated. That from Jay Squeezy.
Oh, hey, Jay Squeezy. Heard it's your birthday. Hopefully you get Jade into some squeezy stuff. Maybe you'll see some boobs. Climb that tower.
Bitches, can I get a dirty German birthday shout out for my man Raw Dog on his 41st?
I hope that's about eating broccoli.
Love the lovely BB.
Yeah, I'll be introducing you to BBs myself. One on the left, one on the right. And you will live up to your name.
Yeah, later we can eat some Weeble. Yeah, she's wondering what that is. The small sweet biscuits. I have 2 of them.
Guys, I want to wish my boyfriend Mark a happy 50th birthday. Give him a big old Leroy Jenkins, and your penis is too small. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. That from Kelly.
Let's do this. Leroy Jenkins.
I always want to give a birthday shout out to Nick, the worst drunken golfer I know. He says the show is his biggest vice, so please give him the Dirty Germans and Virginia Miles talking about his perm.
Yeah, I want to lay you down like a carpet in the guest room.
Yeah, because you're most welcome at my house. That keeps silk pillowcases for people with perms.
It's okay if your perm is tight, as long as everything is going to be all white.
Said Virginia. Gonna go for it. Macholas, can you guys wish me a happy 52nd birthday today with a dirty German? Thanks, guys. Love you from Myra.
Yeah, Myra, I like your name. You'll be screaming for more, Myra. And I do not want to say you're getting older, but perhaps it looks like your naughty bits have been in the bathtub for 3 days.
Yeah, so pruned up a little bit so they can hold on better.
Yeah, evolution.
Evolution equals pleasure.
She can climb walls with it. Yeah, like Spider-Man.
So, sounds like a snail trail.
Placostomus. You clean the side of a fish tank. Yeah, the wacky wall crawler.
All right, guys, here we go. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday to you, to you, to you.
Yas, a Dirty German is brought to you by Men's Room Original Sausage. Available through Uli's World Famous Sausage, mensroomlive.com, and other fine retailers. Schweinefleisch.
Let's see, this one, guys, catching up on the show via the podcast on the radio.com app. I caught this story segment. We were talking on a road trip, the story that my family always tells. And we stopped at Arby's for some lunch. Everyone ordered the curly fries except for my sister, who's about 11 or 12 at the time. We all sit down, start to eat. My sister takes a bite of a French fry and gets the most disgusting look on her face. I, being the helpful older brother, ask, hey, what's wrong? Thinking maybe they cooked them wrong or whatever. She scrunches up her face with this part confusion, part anger, and replies matter-of-factly, these fries taste like potatoes. Thinking she's messing with us, the entire table goes, well, and she says it again. Everyone at our tables, and the table behind us start laughing their asses off, and she starts to get pissed because she doesn't understand why we're laughing. I had to tell her that all fries are made from potatoes, to which she replied, McDonald's fries don't taste like potatoes. Which, of course, only made everyone laugh a little harder. Poor girl can't go anywhere and get fries without me being a smartass, asking if they taste like potatoes. Have a great day, guys. That from Robert.
I did the same thing with onion rings. First time I had a real one, it was like, what is this? And they're like, that's the onion.
I did the same.
I was kind of used to like the bag of frozen ones you cook at home. It just
had little pieces in there.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. I think we need to go back in time to the last time we played Ted versus the FCC. So we good. Let's go back in time.
Cool. Shy City Shelly sells city shells by the city seashore and the short city sushi shop. What's the deal with the cute Kent cut?
3 times fast.
Shy City Shelly sells city she sells by the seashore and the short city sushi shop. What's the deal with the cute Kent cut?
1.
Shy City Shelly sells seashells by the city seashore and the short city sushi shop. What's the deal with that cute Kent cut?
2.
Shy City Shelly sells seashells by the city seashore and the short city sushi shop. What's the deal with those cute Kent cuts?
All I do is win, no matter what.
Yeah, there's one for the win column. Let's do it again.
And now, everyone's favorite daytime game show, where one person could lose $325,000 and their job, or win and walk away with nothing. It's time for Ted versus the FCC.
Oh, God, so hard. We got a little old-fashioned trucker speed and stayed up all night last night coming up with new rhymes and riddles for Ted versus the FCC.
Even Mike Hogg joined us last night.
What a long night. Yeah,
he's been struggling all day.
He was with us for at least 10 minutes. But lo and behold,
felt like a marathon.
It really did, but you just hung out for a little while. We've got to keep moving on. Ted versus the FCC. We got one from Brian today. And Brian submits us. What did it go? Something like this. The king fans 5 fires for funny ducks furiously tickling funky turkeys. The frolicking ducks run fast, ducking the fires. Fun, the king of funny ducks frolics fearing the flying ducks. The way we play Ted versus the FCC is you need to read that 1 time through, then 3 times fast.
All right. The king fans 5 fires for funny ducks furiously tickling funky turkeys. The frolicking ducks run fast, ducking the fires. Fun, the king of funny ducks, frolics fearing the flying ducks.
3 times fast.
The king fans 5 fires for funny ducks, fiercely tickling funky turkeys. The frolicking ducks run fast, ducking the fires. Fun, the king of funny ducks, frolics fearing the flying ducks.
1.
The king of fans 5 fires for funny ducks, fiercely tickling funky turkeys. The frolicking ducks run fast, ducking the fires. Fun, the king of funny ducks, frolics fearing the flying ducks.
2.
The king of fans 5 fires for funny ducks, fiercely tickling funky turkeys. The frolicking ducks run fast, ducking the fires. Fun, the king of funny ducks, frolics fearing the flying ducks.
Another win at 10 versus the FCC. All right, bitches, get those bad jokes ready to go. 844-999-OLA. You can email the bad joke to the men's room at mensroomlive.com. Bad jokes coming up. You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
We return to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
So trippy. I feel like I'm high.
Yeah, man.
That's really weird. Bad jokes, 844-999-OLA. First, to make sure the bad jokes last for generations to come. We first must bring you these rules.
This is the official Men's Room Bad Jokes rules. A bad joke is a bad joke, not necessarily a dirty joke. For instance, a guy walked into a bar. I think we know how that one ends. And yes, we all know about the man from Nantucket and what he can do. So a bad joke is a bad joke, not necessarily an offensive one. I mean, we all know that Jews own Hollywood, and what's better than winning a gold medal at the Special Olympics? Just keep these simple rules in mind before you call.
And now, the men's room proudly brings you Bad Jokes.
Mike Hawk here to kick off the bad jokes.
How do you think the unthinkable?
How do you think the unthinkable?
With an iceberg.
Bad jokes, 844-999-OLA.
The Titanic.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of spelling.
Pretended that Shannon Sharp told you that joke.
Yeah.
Hello, Ryan. Welcome to Bad Jokes.
Hola. Hi, hey guys, I'm about to go see Pearl Jam. What should I expect?
You should expect 3 hours of getting your ass kicked.
Yeah, all right, guys. How do you cut an ocean in half?
How do you cut an ocean in half?
With a seesaw.
All right, not bad. Hello, Ian. Welcome to Bad Jokes.
Hey, so where do fish go when they get sick?
Where do fish go when they get sick?
The dock.
All right. Do you know why they're so smart?
Why?
They're always in schools.
What do you call an alligator that swallowed a GPS system? That's from Daniel.
Alligator what?
A navigator. Did you hear about the 2 men that stole a calendar?
No.
They each got 6 months.
Hey-o.
Some of your mama jokes from Daniel. Your mom is so dumb she put a quarter in each ear thinking she was listening to 50 Cent. And one more. Your mom is so dumb she thought seaweed was something fish smoke. Woman, have we made it to drinking time?
Somebody out there deserves to be recognized. And the men's room knows just who it is. So to you, we say, bottoms up, sailor. You're the toast of our shot of the day.
Drink time it is, and as usual, we head to the drink desk and Stephen Throwhill to find out who we're toasting.
Yes, indeed, and I've been a little torn on who we should toast today. Originally, it was the man who was going to flee from police. They had him surrounded, so he took a hostage. The reason it didn't work is because the hostage he took was a frog. Turns out the cops stayed aggressive with their negotiations. He threatened to kill the frog. The frog ended up fine, and the guy was arrested. But instead, we're going to
kill Kermit.
Yeah, I mean, they were like, bro, and I'm not kidding. Like, he drove the car off the side of the road. The cops were chasing him. He just found a frog on the side of the road, picked it up, was like, stop! They were like, no. But we're not toasting him, in spite of his best efforts. It's an 82-year-old man in India. He went to see help because he had something wrong with his penis, all right? They were saying that he was suffering from a huge ulcer on his penis as well as severe swelling, and it's going to make your butthole pucker, shedding skin.
Oh.
Okay? So, don't worry, Miles. It gets worse. Obviously, he goes to the hospital to find out exactly what it is that's going wrong. This is about 2 weeks that he waited. Well, they said, look, man, it's you have this major ulcer, and they gave him some medical advice. He chose not to follow the advice and just let it go. You can't make this up. The ulcer basically ate through his penis. His penis fell off. Oh. On its own. It rotted off of his body and dropped to the ground. As the doctors pointed out when he first came up with the ulcer and his penis was shedding skin, they said, we could do some emergency stuff now, but the guy said, no. I just want to know what's wrong. Nothing to worry about. They did the best they could, offered advice. He did not follow. So again, an 82-year-old man's penis fell off due to the ulcer that he had let go for just a little too long.
Man.
You'd
already been to the doctor. I don't understand. Why not stay? Let him help you.
That's what I'm saying. Your penis is shedding skin. Right, it's shedding skin. They tell you things are bad, but he let it go. And I'm telling you, if you read the story, yes, he did. That's reading the details of the story is one of the most disturbing things I've done in months. But I could not stop reading it. But I really wish I hadn't. So I had to share it with you. So let's drink. We pour this booze and we drink this booze because we think it's yummy.
Yummy!
So over the tongue and down the throat to party in our tummies. Down the hola, bichola!
Let's get a contestant online for profile. This will take caller 9-844-999-OLA.
Hola! The shenanigans continue on the Men's Room Radio Network.